It seems to me that the fate of Kong has already been set before him. Throughout history, we have continually witnessed the great King Kong submit to death at the end of all things. He has always been a martyr for all that is good. He has always fought passionately for the natural way in which he stood for. He represented the seeming opposition in which nature has to man, or at least that's the way it's been presented. I remember the climactic moment in the Peter Jackson 2005 film. It was a hard reality we all had to face. Watching on screen this hero of the mysterious natural world fall at the hands of man. King Kong has always represented what embodies the wild at heart, which is why so many people were able to relate to the character and care deeply for him. His personification struck close to home when compared to humanity, and many people, I would argue, would see themselves when they looked at Kong. The way he struggled to woo Anne, the anger in which encumbered him in times of turmoil, the self-restraint he could or could not impose on himself at any given moment. His emotions most certainly ran deep, and in the upcoming film, Godzilla vs. Kong, I can't help but wonder, might the same fate meet the mighty King Kong once again? Although Godzilla has been characterized a bit more in the legendary monsterverse, he still is, ultimately, the embodiment of a natural disaster, a sociopathic monster who displays little emotion when compared to King Kong, one who seeks to sustain his own self-perseverance and crush his enemies whenever necessary. The film producers know this. People relate more to King Kong than Godzilla, especially if you consider the ways in which I've mentioned. I think it's likely King Kong will ultimately sacrifice himself for a greater good. After battling it out with Godzilla, the two most likely will find that there is a greater threat at hand, in which case Kong will ultimately sacrifice himself in order to defeat it, and Godzilla, although scarred, will walk away, still alive, still thriving, and ready to fight another day. The Oxygen Destroyer device has already been teased by the director for the upcoming Godzilla 2 King of Monsters film. This device is what was used to ultimately destroy Godzilla in the first Godzilla film. In a similar way, I theorize Kong might grab onto this object and charge into the main enemy of the film, destroying himself and whatever lies ahead. But in any case, I would like to prepare you guys for the potential loss of Kong once again. Perhaps a Kong in which we have grown to like. This has always been seemingly essential for films of this magnitude, which is why I can only fear the worst. But what do you guys think? Might Kong pass yonder in this Godzilla vs. Kong film? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts on these matters, and like this damn video if you haven't yet. For I am the Iceman. More videos to come.